And we're live.
Okay, let's have a I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This should be some. This is okay, I'll take it. Okay, you can say something. Okay. Can I have a roll call?
I'm good.
All right, so member Clotworthy's not here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Member Darrow?
Here.
Member Holler?
Here.
Member McAdams?
Here.
Member McConnell? Here. Member Ostrom?
Here.
And Mayor Grantstrom.
Here. Okay, the public notice, this meeting is advised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act and complies with all the laws therein. Can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Stacy,
You want me to write down?
yeah, I don't keep it. I'm not gonna write anything down. I need that paper. We're online here. Brian couldn't make it tonight, and I'm cramming a little bit, so.
Motion
I
to
see
close.
Cass is here, so we're very, very good at Colin and Stacy.
Okay, and motion to,
Yeah.
We're open to the public.
I'll open the public hearing.
No, you're good.
Okay. We're open to the public. Anybody have anything? State your name and where you live and come forward.
Can I stand here?
No. Yes, you can. Who's
Thank you so much, because I was going to anyway.
Okay, can, state your name.
Kathleen Moss, 306 Christiana Street, Brooklawn, New Jersey. I understand the park is closed, am I correct?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, because of an incident that happened.
Well, because that's part of it. Yeah, it's not why it's closed, but yes.
Okay. If you notice, we also have sneakers over wire,
Every city in America has.
but I'm going to tell you right now, though, that wasn't anybody in Brooklyn, because I watched the kid go this way. So they're coming.
Yeah, we have that problem. I mean,
I'm
we're an
just-
open city here and it's a great place to come. I confess, I threw my sneakers when I graduated 8th grade. Did you? Mike?
Probably still there.
Several pair.
You know, it's tradition, but I don't think that's so bad. But lighting lighting a bonfire in our
Mhm.
brand new facility for the kids, I don't think it's right.
You haven't found out who it was yet?
No, we have not. There's investigations, they're questioning people. There's, at this point, you know, with kids, you have what they call a rat. There's a rat in there, I'm just saying, they kind of think who it is. Like, Trish, you're on that, you want to speak on it or something?
I know they're investigating it.
Yeah, it's,
Do you have, like, the video from the cameras, or?
there is video, but Chris, I don't mean Trish, but, the police kind of are really working on that. You know, we're dealing with, juveniles, and you have to be very, very careful.
Correct, but I mean, you don't recognize anybody on the tape?
Even if they,
Mr. Mayor,
yes,
even if they did, they wouldn't be able to say anything at this point because they're currently investigating.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're not able to really give out any information at this time.
And as a general matter, it's inappropriate for council or the mayor to comment on an open active investigation by the police. But certainly, once the case is closed or if someone has been charged, we can provide that information.
I just thought if they couldn't recognize them from the tape, maybe somebody in the school could recognize them from the tape.
That's a good point, which you're free to reach out to the police.
Yeah.
That's something you want to
It's
share.
actually, they're working.
Well, I'm sure, I'm just questioning.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Anyone else?
Motion to close. Second.
Okay. Move to current ordinances. There are no current ordinances on the books right now. We'll move to resolutions. Resolution authorizing acceptance of resolution of the resignation of a tax assessor, James Duda, has resigned. Authorize the raffle license, 25 for 18 for 2025 for Brooklawn American Legion Post fundraiser for seniors. We have an upcoming, I'm just going to speak on this a little bit. We have an upcoming fundraiser for this, specifically for the senior citizens, and that's what this is all about. Authorize Chapter 159 in the amount of $84,913.20 from New Jersey Economic Development Authority. You want to speak on that real quick?
Is that the chapter 159?
151.
So it's the environmental, it's the Rick Franchi property, Old Broadway. It's adding money to the budget,
Yes.
after the budget was already made. And it's like the clean community and what we use to pay Harry.
Perfect. Okay. Moving on, authorize Chapter 151 in the amount of $5,136.77 for clean communities. Can you speak on that real quick?
They go together.
Okay, that's
They're the same, it's just part one, part two.
this is why we need Ryan here. Thank you for that, Dave. Authorizing local support for Puffin Store NJ Inc. for its Class 1 cannabis cultivation business and Class 2 cannabis manufacturing business license application to the New Jersey Cannabis Regulatory Commission.
Can I ask
Classification? I'm sorry, Bruce.
No, can I ask a question? Why does it say our support? I'm not supporting, the cannabis space, that's all.
Typically, I'm sorry, typically a cannabis operator requires not a formal consent, but just essentially an application or a letter of support from the municipality. Typically, that's council. They would still have an obligation to proceed before the planning and zoning board for site plan approval.
Okay, but they can't use that down the road as, even the borough supports us in like any sort of advertising, that's what I'm.
Well, if we agree, we kind of do support it.
You have to remember that cannabis operations are not permitted as of right. Typically, a town has to go through their ordinances, adopt ordinances that they see fit, identifying the type of licenses, this happens to be retail, and the number of licenses. So I know you have other cannabis facilities in town. I would assume that within that ordinance, you've authorized a certain number of retail dispensaries. And this would in fact memorialize that there are retail licenses still to be granted in Brooklawn.
Okay, just so it'll come to a vote, so I can make my voice heard.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's why I want to know what it said, support, you know.
So
Can we change the verbiage on that?
So this resolution was already passed. So this is resolution 8424. It was already passed for, Indigo. So it's,
Indigo is-
Indigo was
That's
already
Indigo,
passed.
but this
So,
here, the actual name.
but
It
it's
is
the
Indigo.
same, it's the same
This is it.
company. So it's to give,
Wow.
it's to give Indigo the right to go inside, to do a grow factory. So basically, we have the cannabis facility that's right across the street from there. So basically, they are going to be, Puffin's going to be a cultivation outside of the cannabis facility that already was approved.
Then I think that we should have in here, so we have, you know, and it kind of sounds like Jeff and I would like on the same page. You know, I don't care who frequents it, does not concern me, but this is my own personal opinion, and I just want to make sure that I'm not against Indigo, you know, it's here, but, you know, I don't remember whether that said we support them, that I don't know. But this is the first time I've seen that. I just want to know, as long as we can vote on that, you know, so my voice and Jeff's whoever could be heard. That's all.
I just want to clarify, so this is the manufacturing plant?
Yes. So,
Indigo bought in.
Indigo bought into the cannabis facility, so they have building 1 and building 2. So this is gonna be in building 1A and B, unit A and B. So basically, they are able to grow where they are now, they're not.
Why are they not now?
Because
Because
there's
it just,
distribution.
there's a total of 7 different cannabis licenses
Okay.
that New Jersey recognizes.
Okay.
Each license requires a separate approval.
Okay.
So in other words, if you are permitted to operate a retail dispenser, that does not automatically include a license for the other 6.
Okay.
Each license is individual. It's wholesale, manufacturing, retail, cultivation, transportation.
Transportation.
And this has nothing to do with the previous rumored one that was supposed to go in ShopRite parking lot area. That's not this at all.
That's not
It's
a
not a
rumor.
rumor.
What is that?
It's not a rumor.
So what is it?
It's gonna, that's
But
a,
this has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with
Okay,
it.
that's my question.
that's a whole separate deal.
Essentially, like
That's
each individual facility that intends to operate in Brooklawn has to go through this initial process.
And this is, and
Well, if.
again, just to clarify, this is for them to be able to grow that in the building that's already that's already being used for it to grow, just to include, indigo.
So just
Okay,
so.
just allowing indigo to grow, correct, in something that's already.
And it's just gonna be called Puffin.
Indigo was licensed, and then in like last discussion we had with, they wanted to do a multi with licensed people, not bringing any more people in,
Already
right?
in the
And
place that's already
so
established.
Indigo, somehow they bought in.
They're just teaming up.
Yeah, because they're licensed for that, right?
This is kind of related but separate. So I know there were issues like planning and zoning wise on that site about how things were done. Has that been resolved?
As far, so there was some drainage issues. It was determined from my understanding that was an NJDOT, matter. It's been handled as far as, planning and zoning. So, but no issues.
There's nothing pending.
Now, nothing with the buildings, nothing, everything's, we're ready to go. They're actually moving along, they're getting inspections done, so they're cruising.
Okay, so, that's it, that's our discussion, we're not voting on anything.
No, there's no voting.
Okay.
Mayor, if I may,
Yes,
do we have a replacement for Mr. Heath?
no, not at this point, I
So
don't
there-
believe I do not believe we do.
Ryan said that is being handled. There's a resolution to appoint a new assessor and that, it'll be in a few weeks or so at the
It'll
next
be at our
meeting. There
next
will be a
council.
Could you make
resolution.
sure that council receives the resume of any potential applicant?
Does it have to be advertised for a certain amount of time or anything?
Not necessarily.
Is that a request, RFP, is that how that works, or are we just appointing somebody temporarily, or?
To my understanding, you're not required to formally go out for an RFP. Typically, that would generate more,
Yes,
you know,
other
potential.
interest, right.
So I think if that's how council would like to handle it, I would recommend that be communicated to Mr. Giles.
Okay,
So that,
so,
you know, all resumes and packages can be reviewed by personnel committee.
great. So what you were saying is that potentially in the next meeting, we have a
Resolution for
a resolution, so council has the ability to look into that.
Well, that was one of the things that you have a personnel committee. And every time Transformers hired, no one even knows where this person came from. You know, that's what I want to know. When there is a personnel committee, they should be aware of.
I think up until a very short time, we didn't even know that this, our dude resigned.
I never even heard of the guy.
I never met him.
No, so-
He's
It's
our,
been pretty quick.
he's our guy.
But as long
I
as
have been here 20 years.
Mayor and council know ahead of time, instead of someone come in front of us say, oh, we're gonna hire Collins, like, wait a minute, why didn't we get to look at resumes or whatever, you know, so we have some idea who we're hiring at that point. And, you know, it was like last year, we still laughed at when we made one of our officers a captain. Where'd this come from? No one even knew what was going on. We had all these people were in here and none of us knew what was going on. You know, not that we're against it, but I think we should have known that, you know, this guy's being made a captain, you know, it was a big deal that night, you know, so.
Well, again, normally committees decide it, and then they approach.
Well, that's what I'm saying, as long as there's personnel committees,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
yeah, that's all I'm saying, so, you know, we're not doing that.
Can somebody communicate that to Ryan? Who would communicate that to Ryan?
Oh,
Well,
right,
I'll
yeah.
tell you, I think we're gonna put it on the docket that, we will have discussion, you know, prior to that.
Yeah.
Well, he said
I think just to speed it up, and
Because we need
I worked with Mr. Duda closely over the last month, finalizing the open tax appeals. He was a pleasure to work with. And this was the first time I saw him resigning as well.
Yeah.
But we can take a vote tonight
very
to
sudden.
put it out for an RFP if that's how you.
Well, I don't know if that,
I think it was someone from Jim Duda's office. That was-
yeah, there might have been a
It was
recommendation.
a
We don't really
recommendation,
know.
if I'm not mistaken, but it was from the same office as Jim Duda.
But either way,
I think that's a great idea, though.
Exactly.
if it's an RFP, he can apply, whoever it is can still apply. It's not like it's eliminating that
Yeah, but
person.
I know timing has something to do with, this. Timing, right? Because
If I'm not mistaken.
like, he couldn't have done it at a worse time, I think. At
Well,
this point.
to his credit, it was after all open appeals have been resolved.
Right, okay.
So,
So there's no,
you know, his busy season is technically
done over, right?
for the year.
And it could have been a personal reason why, you know.
Well,
I'll be
it
happy
could
to-
be anything.
I'll reach out to Ron.
So we don't know.
Let me,
There's gotta be a reason, which is none of our.
Brian, let me ask you, what would you recommend, knowing our, what we understand at this point, what would you say an RFP would be in order?
Well, let me speak with Ron,
Okay.
just so that there aren't circumstances that we're
Right.
unaware of. But
It was from his office, I do know that,
It was from his office.
and there was a recommendation, I didn't see it, and I just found out a day ago, I'm resigning myself.
well, typically, if the contract was for his firm, we wouldn't necessarily have to go out to RFP.
Right.
If another
It's
member
the
of
same
his-
person coming from his firm. I don't know that right at this point.
I will call Ryan tomorrow and send an email on everything.
All right, very good. All right. Anything else? No? All right, can we close, motion to close on that motion situation?
Second.
And we're now open to council. Anybody, let's see, Tricia? Tricia, voice your opinion, and listen, we're here.
Yeah,
Whatever you have.
I'm just gonna talk about Fourth of July. So registration for it's gonna be on Fourth of July. We'll start at 9:15 for the parade to start at 10. And then what is it, are we 10 to 1 or 10 to 12?
I think it was 10 to 1.
So it'll be 10 to 1. I don't believe that we're gonna have a bounce house this year, only because we usually order that a year in advance, and we did not do that. So we're thinking, we also are having problems getting water ice. They're not doing bulk water ice.
What happened with, what's her?
Kona.
I didn't even think of that.
Who?
Kona.
Yeah.
Because we called around to a couple different places and nobody is doing bulk water ice. So in lieu of that, we thought it might be nice to have a Mr. Softy truck there.
Did you call the water ice factory?
That's what I was thinking.
You know, I don't know if that exists anymore.
It does.
It
There's
does?
one in,
It
I
does.
think it's in Barrington. or
It's,
something.
yeah, like.
Right by
It's not
FedEx.
in, I know it's not in Lindenwold anymore, they closed that one down.
Right, I know one of them closed
It's on
down.
East
I mean, I
Sheen Road.
can, but that's what
Each in the lane.
we're tossing around.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
The Mr. Softy truck.
Because they,
It's something
It's,
different.
What
they
do they
have
say?
both, the water ice, at the water
They
ice.
do, all
factory.
right, I will definitely.
Work Cabana, I'm sure they'll work.
So we're
Cabana.
still just trying to work it out, but the time is gonna be, registration's gonna be 9:15, parade's gonna start at 10. So, but the celebrations committee, we can get together and finalize all the details and stuff like that. So we have a little bit of time.
Trish,
Don't forget-
what do they do? Like, for an example, where they bill us, because you don't sell the water ice, right?
No, I mean, no, we don't sell it. We
No,
get
that's
it
what
for
I
free.
said.
Right, but we usually get 2 tubs, and Cabana, for the longest time, we would buy 2 and they would donate 2. But he said he's absolutely not doing the bulk water ice, which I don't understand why, but
Well, let me know, my niece owns a water ice place over in Haverford. So, you know, it's something.
I'm sure even Costco, it, we could.
Yeah, well, yeah,
We could do
yeah.
like a wholesale.
Yeah, but we have local residents working for them and donating their time,
Yeah.
simple one, right?
Yeah,
What's
I
her
mean,
name?
she enjoys that.
Teresa.
She does.
Teresa.
She is our queen of scuba
She's the
diving.
queen of ice, but
Really.
she's no longer involved, and they said they are no longer doing this.
They're no longer doing bulk water ice. I mean, not just for us, in
Okay,
general.
fine.
And, I mean, you didn't give us
For
an
a new
explanation why. Yeah, see, Magnolia, right? I thought that clear.
No, but I don't understand.
We just went there and got a
But
cake.
like, you
Well, that's
just,
probably
because they
why
said
we
the problem.
They never put anybody here, Regina ran.
Yeah, because we got our.
All right, well, I'll look into that.
Hold on.
Either way, I mean, we're still planning it, we still have some time. And then don't forget the fireworks, June 28th. There's gonna be food trucks, a live band, and that starts at 6.
Who's the band?
I can't think of it. It's
Come
somebody
on.
from town though.
Is, are they familiar from the last, the female singer, she was terrific, and the other group, I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't have our familiar people here.
I'm trying to think, he used to DJ, their brother DJ'd or something, they're from town. And he's willing to do it, so it'll be different, because normally we have a DJ, so it'll be nice to have a live band.
Question, is there still an opening for possibly other, talent, people coming in?
I mean, if you want to,
If we could put them in touch with you,
I mean,
you
yeah,
could make that work.
yeah, we could.
All right.
I mean, it's only gonna be a couple of hours long, but.
Anything,
yeah, I probably could do that,
Anything for the
sure.
fireworks night? Let me ask you that, anything?
We don't really need to be involved in that, we just kind of need to show up. And
Yeah, but is there,
Todd will get all the food trucks in place, I mean, there's only gonna be a handful,
okay.
there's only gonna be a few down there, so.
Any Ferris wheel?
No Ferris wheel.
How
That
about a dunk
really
tank?
was just
Sold.
for the 100th year thing.
There was a,
Yeah, but we have a bunch of, we have 50K right in the celebrations budget.
I don't know what we have in there, but I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
doing, we're not doing that,
Why?
because we did it, and, I mean, let's come up with something different if we wanna do something big like that, but I mean,
But why?
we're in the
Why-
11th hour right now also,
Yeah.
so,
Why just because we don't do it?
I mean, I don't know, Colin, I don't think we need a Ferris wheel every single time. First of all, we're trying not to draw attention either, and it's a good thing because Gloucester's having their fireworks that same night too. Maybe somewhere down the road, we can do something like that, add to it, kind of have like a little carnival type thing, but with all this mayhem going on with these kids and stuff, I think we just keep it low key this year.
I just don't understand the reason. Okay.
I mean,
is that,
I just don't understand the reason why
Yeah,
the kids
committee.
can't have something that's pretty spectacular. Everybody loved that year, and we're just saying just because.
well,
don't
maybe
have
we
it.
can have it next year, maybe we can talk about it and have it for next year, but I don't see that in the
Well, we don't-
cards right now, I mean, we would, had to have planned for that also.
So we're not having anything this year? You have food trucks and that's it?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want?
Ferris wheel.
Okay, well, we're not gonna have a Ferris wheel this year,
Why though?
because we're not.
But why? That's what I'm asking.
Because we're not gonna spend the money on that.
But hold on, but there's a committee, there's a committee for this. Not one person decides that, right? There's a celebrations
Well, there is a
committee.
committee, and yes.
So did you ask the opinions of the people on the committee if they
let
want
me,
the
let
Ferris
me,
wheel or
let
not?
me break up this.
Yeah, we're
Let
not
me
having
break
that,
this
we're
up.
not having Ferris wheel this year. That was something special for the 100th year celebration.
But who decides we're not having a Ferris wheel?
Well, I guess I am right now.
But you don't have the authority to do that, is what I'm explaining.
Oh,
to you.
well, maybe I don't.
No, no,
Okay, well,
no.
we're
There's a
not-
committee for a reason.
Okay, well then,
Stop.
yeah, really, stop.
Listen, we're gonna stop the chicken. We're not gonna go back and forth. We're gonna decide as a council, we'll talk to the committee.
Why the committee? We should just-
We have plenty of time. We'll have a discussion. Your committee can come up.
Sounds good.
I don't wanna go back and forth. Right now, look, we love us. We are all in love, okay? We don't wanna fight and we don't wanna argue. We put that perception out there. I don't like that. So let's no fight. We're gonna talk it out and we're gonna work it out, period.
There's no fighting.
No, it's back and forth though, and it never stops, Colin, never stops.
But
And
that's
I don't
why,
wanna,
that's
I
why we
don't,
have committees.
Colin, I don't wanna go back and forth. That's it. So I wanna hear from the committee, we'll hear from council. If we want a Ferris wheel and we can afford it, we're gonna get one.
Oh, okay,
So that's it, all right? Let's move on.
great.
Stacy,
I don't have.
I didn't mean to
anything.
surprise you like that.
No, you're absolutely fine. I don't have anything at this time.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing.
Any word on, as far as, when, Seamus is retiring, very soon, the 13th, I think.
In a couple, like a week or so.
Is Brewster going to be back?
I believe so, yes. If not, we still have Ray filling in, until then. And Shay is still available for,
Right.
any kind of inquiries.
I think they were a little tied up today.
Today is, they've been busy for the
Yeah,
past couple
very
weeks or
busy.
so,
All right, thank you, Steve.
Mhm.
Colin?
Nothing much. We have the pickleball. Great. I'm working with Public Works, get some quotes in for the ramp, because we need an ADA ramp. Hopefully the netting will be next week, and then we'll be ready for the ramp. And I know the ramp might have some lead time to it, but once we finish that, we should be ready to go.
Do we got any way with that, how we're gonna control, we have 50 people show up, and they say, I wanna get on there. But, I know, once that opens, because I've gotten several phone calls, when you open, down from, up different town codes. And there's people excited about it, it's state of the art, there's pictures on it, on other towns' website. I thought that was pretty amazing. So how do we control and what hours and who gets a code? And we were talking about a card access. Can we look into that?
So the system's not set up for the card access.
Right.
We can certainly spend the money and try to do
But
that.
if you can't change the code,
You can. We can change it any time we want.
like daily?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
We could. Right now, at least I believe, it's first come, first serve. We have all the rules and ordinances and everything's out there right now. So we passed all that. That's out there.
That's like 20 minutes a game. Or
Yeah,
something.
30 minutes or finish your 11-point game, whatever it is. Now, it's kind of like, just like any other park, it's kind of like by the honor
Right,
system,
right.
But if I'm on the basketball court, somebody wants to play, everybody's kind of got to follow the
Next.
rules. Yeah, it's kind of the idea. If that can't happen, we can go to the online format in which we reserve times online, so we can certainly transition to that if we had to. I just don't know what our demand's going to be to kind of begin this. But my idea, and I haven't spoken with Mike yet, so I'm going to surprise him here.
I'm not surprised.
Would
23
be,
years, bro, I ain't having it.
which is, we'll give Public Works code and key for them to unlock it at 8 a.m. each day, because they'll be down there. We'll take care of weekends. We'll figure that out. You're going to be responsible for that.
We
And
can
then
also change the code daily as well.
we can, yeah. And then the police, well, we're not going to go out the code. We go out the key. We'll unlock it for the day.
Yeah, I can do it in the AM, so in Maxville, we kind of do the same thing where we'll open the park in the AM, police close it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, yeah. So we'll get police a key, they'll come down at 8 p.m., they'll lock it up, and that's how it'll work. Police can still do, and maybe police could do weekend mornings in replace of Public Works.
Well, we also have an on-call operator too, 24/7, and we have weekend operators as well, they get in
Do you have your cell
6:45.
number? Like, you have your cell, you have your cell number?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But
Yeah.
we can
So I think
open,
Public
we
Works
can
can
open
open,
it 7
physical
days,
close.
we can open it 7 days a week, they can close it.
That's perfect.
Question. Porta potties,
We were waiting for confirmation, email was sent out to council in regards to where they wanted to take that idea. John had sent over some preliminary drawings for everybody to take a look at, haven't heard anything back.
that's acceptable, yes, very acceptable. There's not too many places you can put porta potties. I don't know about the construction of concrete work and cut out curbs and things like that.
So we're just gonna do, like, the cutout will be super simple, and we're not doing concrete base, we're gonna do asphalt
Okay.
with I believe a 4-foot or 3-foot knee wall around that access area,
What type of knee wall? What are you talking about?
like a concrete parking block. wall.
Okay, so,
So the front will be gated, that'll be open, we can even do that open close with the pickleball court, coordination with the pickleball court. And on the back side of it, it'll be tied in with a concrete wall of some sort.
I'm thinking of 4th of July coming up. We need something in
Well, the
place.
porta potties will be down there for the 4th of July.
All right.
That's already part of the celebrations, that's always been a thing.
Do we have anything lined up for any construction?
Well, we haven't gotten confirmation from mayor and council on which
We're
way
gonna
they
get
want us
that
to
tonight.
proceed.
We're gonna get that right now.
So if you're okay with us proceeding with that idea that we
That's
put
gonna
out,
be a question, and there'll be some discussion about it, but we're running out of time on this. And yes, I did see, John, your, drawings.
We just want to thought too, Mayor, that if the ramps are selected and you,
We can do cutouts altogether.
you want to do the non-veg surface, the asphalt underneath the ramp for maintenance reasons, when the contractor's out there paving that, they can pave the pad for the,
And I can get a fence company to come in, rail it, done.
What are we talking about? Well, I'm missing something.
Underneath the ramp, John, probably a great point in terms of like the maintenance, when we clear that out and replace that ramp in there, he was saying.
You're talking about the aluminum.
Like the concrete, yeah. He
Okay.
was saying you could asphalt underneath that, so it won't be grass growing, and stuff
What
like
was it,
that.
Tom?
So he's saying do that at
That
the same
just
time.
happened.
We just talked
We
about
were
it
just
4
talking
minutes,
about
yeah,
it.
a couple minutes ago.
And we're not sure which direction we're taking, so it's really not worth it.
Right, but, if we go concrete, and should that be a discussion, I actually talked to Brian about that, but we can prove something, you know. We're talking about whether it's aluminum, concrete. I was,
Yeah, I spoke with John before the meeting, he asked me to speak to him, and he said it does meet all the ADA requirements, stay on.
yeah, you could definitely use the aluminum ramps. They're commonly used at other sports facilities to meet ADA requirements.
okay, I know we have a 4-week turnout, where's that leave us for 4th of July? Where we
Past 4th of July.
Past? Okay, yeah. All right, so forget that.
Even the concrete would put us past 4th of July.
All right. So what about 4th of July, the week before 4th of July, which is even sooner, for fireworks for porta potties? What are we gonna do there?
So the porta potties being on, I recommend that in order to, so we can cut down on cost of manpower time.
Put them in that area where we're not allowed to park?
We just put them in that area for now, and that way we're not paying extra setup fees, all this stuff. We can coordinate everything in one pack.
All right. Can we set that up? I don't know how many porta potties we need.
Just two.
All right, 2. I don't know who orders them.
It's already taken. It's
All right, so
already,
you'll have that for
that's already a done thing.
fireworks,
Done deal.
and then we'll discuss paving for, and what are we talking about a date? Maybe the middle of, probably the middle of August?
I mean, we could,
No,
you can asphalt whenever you want.
We're gonna
No,
straight
I'm
it
talking
set
about the
aside.
opening for pickleball.
It
And
all
can-
depends.
and-
At least
by
a
the way-
month and a half away.
It all
Wait a
depends.
minute, the question was too, could that be opened, John? This is a question to you, at all, like for, you know how you have soft openings, you have, all kinds of stuff like that. Could that be open for, people like, that are not,
I would think you would want to have it open.
I'd say inner,
Yeah.
no?
I would think you'd want to have everything
Okay,
100%
it's a question,
accessible
yeah.
to everybody
All
when
right.
you open it.
All right, so in our date, kind of, what do you think?
I mean, if we get it done now,
We're getting close to fall festival too.
if we get the idea down, you're 4 weeks out from today, which is right around, 4th of July, not.
So I'm gonna say, if we're at, I'm not trying to step on you, if we're 4 weeks out, I'm gonna say we're 6 to 8 weeks out. Oh, shoot the nuts. Okay, we're 4 weeks out. Okay, yeah, we'll put them right there.
I was gonna say the other issue
Four
too
is
is
not
that the
eight.
ramp is still
Right?
pending.
Okay,
Okay, we'll see where it goes.
You might have a safety issue with that area being open with the public going into that golf course.
All right.
We'll need another week before they're even ordered, so that'll put us 5 weeks out. And then we have to do another week of deciding on who we're paving, that's another week.
We're
6
4
weeks.
weeks out, right?
4 weeks out from the order. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so, and we're not gonna do anything till next council meeting, correct, Brian? All right, so, I figure 4 weeks from our next meeting is what we're gonna target for, right?
Mid-July.
So, we're not approving anything tonight, but I think we should have that discussion, and we all agree on, well, again, it's a committee thing, it's a committee, it'll all come
Yeah,
up.
the committee met, we discussed, we've been through which is why it's taken a while, we've been through every possible scenario to try and make it the cheapest for the borough, still meeting ADA compliance. We all wanted concrete, but it's just the prices are just insane.
Right.
This seems like it meets our ADA requirements, and it's also not a huge financial burden.
But there is prep to do that.
Yeah,
Like, we have to do something with the wall, right, John?
we'll just have to,
Yeah, and underneath the ramp
pull out the
too,
back.
just something like
Under the
to save yourself aggravation in the future and it makes Mike's life easier that you wanna put a non-vegetative surface pave underneath it, so you don't have weeds and grass and other things growing underneath it.
He was saying asphalt.
Kind of like out there at the ball field, kind of paving,
Yeah,
like-
paving under the stands,
but they need to anchor that, right?
and that too, you can actually.
Right. So we could look into, before then, possibly prepping that paving wise with paving out.
And that's what he was saying, tie the bathroom, when they asphalt for the bathroom, he was saying, get that pickleball court done at the same time, asphalt wise. So you already have something down there.
Because you're gonna be paying for two separate mobilizations.
Yes.
No, 100%, yeah. All right, very good. I've been meaning to call you, John, on that, I'm very confident on that.
So if you want to decide, just so there's some clarification, when you had this discussion, if you want to do are we gonna do the bathrooms at the same time, and are we gonna do the non-vegetative surface under the ramp, whether it be concrete or
You're saying bathrooms? No. Did you just say?
the
bathrooms?
porta potties, the
Oh,
bathrooms, the
okay.
bathrooms, yes, the bathrooms.
Because
There's no bathrooms, but
we do have a plan down there for bathrooms,
Yeah.
actually.
right now, just the porta potties, so.
Yes, I
We
got
can
you.
decide altogether if the non-vegetative surface is going in and the bathrooms are going in. So,
Yeah.
I would want to do that unless anybody has an alternative that is cheaper, which we've been through everything. I don't think there is one, but if anybody has a solution, that's better. I'm all ears for it. We've been through the gamut.
Again, I don't think we can do anything officially tonight, until next meeting. But yes, we have pricing, we don't have paving pricing and things like that, but we have people that do work for Brooklawn.
Let's go.
So we have that done quite quickly.
And I just want to clarify, because Jeff and I went down, we looked at the location of the porta pot, and we were just confused, like the actual location from that drawing that we had
So you
received.
remember where the batting cages used to be?
Yeah,
And then the four well started right there.
Yeah.
So picture the edge of that post where four well starts on this side and batting cage is on this side. So four well, we're actually opening and we're building it, making an opening in four well. We're gonna put the asphalt in there
okay.
and then put gates in.
What fencing's coming down, is that what you're saying?
The fencing is staying up, we are putting gates in.
Okay, I got you, perfect.
And I just want to clarify, I know it's like, is barbed wire like still?
Can't
a
do
thing?
barbed wire anywhere.
We have
Barbed wire
it, no,
is
we, I'm saying
illegal.
we have it up there.
It's
Is that,
pre-existing non-conforming. If you want it cut down, I'll cut it down.
oh, I just don't, is there like alternatives to that now? Is there something they come up with besides barbed wire? That's,
It's nothing. You
Nothing.
can't, you keep, there's no,
Constantina,
Constantine wire, that's where you gotta go to.
Okay.
So, but yes, there's no barbed wire in
Yeah.
in any state, I don't believe.
yeah, I do know it's illegal.
and there's no like, nobody patented anything?
So what we do is you do, like in a 1 inch fence openings rather than a 2.5 or a 3, but that means we're changing the whole
thing, yeah.
fence. So I don't think there's gonna be an issue with climbing. They're also gonna be locked. So
Like, should that barbed wire come down?
if you wanted to come down,
No, I'm asking.
No.
As a-
absolutely.
Do we have a need,
If
do we have a
somebody-
need for it, Mike?
If somebody
Yeah,
climbs
well,
over there
it's in a
and,
federally protected area with our water and stuff like that. Well, I don't want people, it's allowed around the water plant, like federally protected areas, but I wouldn't suggest putting it in, like,
I'm saying, if somebody, how does it?
we could take it down.
If somebody, no, I'm just asking, if somebody climbs over there
They get hurt, they sue
and
the
they
town.
get cut,
They
are
sue
we
the town.
liable?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I think that should come down.
I'll take it down tomorrow.
Wow, that's service. There you go.
We have any more barbed wire in town, Mike? That's all I'm aware of that.
The water plant, but that's
Different.
a whole different ballgame.
Okay, all right.
What are we doing about the Borough show? I know that they've been flying into the glass and,
We're working on
Running
that.
themselves.
There is, Colin can speak on it. I have been in touch with, there's several, we could, basically put decals. Thanks to Bruce, he looked into that. There is a product that you can put on that are little dots that you can see through. In other words, you can't tell that they're there. but the birds could see it, and it's very, very, very
Which is
expensive.
$6,000.
Yeah, just Trish, to touch base on that real quick, so there is the decals, but there's a monetary evaluation tied to that at this point, which is being budgetarily being put in. There is some other alternative methods that are cheaper. Colin and Jeff, Mr. Howard also provided me with them. I'm gonna order them tomorrow. So there's a UV protectant. It's almost like the birds can see. You put it on there and it's almost like it puts a glare on the window and they can see it. Like we can't see it, but they can, because animals can see a lot of things that we can't. So we're gonna put that all over. There's two sides that look like they're being impacted. So once that comes in, I'll put that on, and then we'll just kind of monitor from there.
How's that applied?
It's just like it's almost like a dot that your mom used to use for like playing pickup, kind of just like that.
What, you just put dots on it?
Yeah, or you could paint it on, or whatever you want to do, but once you can't see it.
Who's gonna do it? You're not gonna do it?
Absolutely.
Okay. No, I said no. No, I'm kidding. It's serious.
Yeah, we'll
So
take care of it.
there is some kind of, something you do? or-
Yes, it'll be handled, and then we'll kind of monitor it from there. Hopefully that'll work. That would be great. If not, there is another alternative that we take.
Yeah, we're right on a water. I mean, there's all kinds of birds and we're all animal lovers here, right? I think we are. All right, well, very good. Jeff, you have anything?
Real quick,
Colin, you done?
Yeah. Gordon said I sent pictures to everybody. I have a call out to 2 nurseries for getting maybe a pear and apple tree. They have a lot of space on the right hand side. I talked to a t-shirt company today. Get some maybe, not advertising, just some pride in the town to wear the shirts around and so forth. So I'm looking at that. Hopefully by next meeting, we'll see how it goes.
They're gonna donate, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
They're gonna donate,
It's my goal.
okay.
And they're blossoming. There's police officers. Really,
Yeah, it's looking good over there, it's,
farm helper Harry, and there's a farm helper, Mr. Green, who doesn't want to be identified, but a lot of work they've been doing, and I oversee. That's it. Thank you.
several, you might wanna say, the Camden County Greenhouse at Lakeland donated all the plants there. And, you know, they said, well, we have some here, we have a couple of varieties, 7 or 8 different varieties of tomato plants, there's all kinds of other stuff. And they're, what's the thing that the birds,
Pollinate.
there's pollinating, the pollinating plants that draw, what you need. That's what farmers do. They put the pollinating things in their corn, and then next thing you know, you got bees and everything, you know, coming around. I know, don't make fun.
No, we got all that fresh water over there too.
And we got a lot of fresh water. I'm sorry, Mike, finally got the water line, which was a disaster. Had to dig 12 feet to get it. But yeah, it's all working great. Is that
That's all, sir.
okay?
Memorial Day.
Not too late. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Memorial Day event went well.
What?
Memorial Day event. Did it well.
The Memorial Day event.
Oh, it was,
Yeah.
yes.
Started
Memorial Day
well.
went very well. Yeah, actually, there was a lot more people this year, you know, and it seems like,
Because of all that mentions.
yeah, and a lot of, compliments on that. They want more, benches. I said, talk to Trish. She's the bench lady. All right. Is that everyone,
Dad, I have a
Oh,
couple,
Bruce.
real quick things. Mason Field's fine. Mike bailed out us today where the state required us to trim the trees because they were affected. Friday is a state game there. And they were concerned that it would impact the game, you know, so anyway, these guys got there today and banged that down. The other thing is, that's done, the Cerrone Field, and I contacted several board members about this, or council members, that I spoke to the entire surviving Cerrone family of Jimmy Cerrone, because the field's Jimmy Cerrone Field. And Yeah, Jimmy was around my age when he died. I really never knew him, but I knew the rest of the Cerrone family. And I thought before I bring this to the council that I should talk. So I talked to Mike Cerrone, Pat Cerrone, Maureen Cerrone, surviving members of the Cerrone family. And what we want to do, what I'd like to propose to the council is that we now take the Cerrone field and what's known as the Field of Dreams on the other side, we're starting to do work on. We're going to rename that Jimmy Cerrone Field. And they were more than happy that they were still shocked that we would even consider the Cerrone family, as long as it's been there. You figure, I'm 73, and when I was playing Little League Baseball, that was my name, Cerrone Field. So you're talking, it's been 65 years. So they were very happy. So I have to ask the borough at the next meeting, but I don't even know if you really need it, that we may ask Mike to take this Cerrone Field sign and move it over to the Field of Dreams, you know? So, well, that's, you know.
Well, I don't think we're gonna, I think we should have
You're helping me.
some type of proclamation.
Well, we could, I mean, I would like to make it,
Maybe a new,
yeah, I would like to make it nicer and meet Mike out there where we want to place it, okay?
right.
So, and then the other thing is I've talked to everybody here before, and I'm talking to Jeff about the parking lot at the church. And I talked to Missy a little bit the other day that Saturday is our yard sale day, but unfortunately I work till 10 o'clock on Saturdays. But I want to go around and talk to as many people who have yard sales in Brooklyn and say, look, we want to have a monthly yard sale at the church lot, maybe the first or second Saturday of every month. And almost like you see these people have flea markets.
You could call it like a flea market.
Yeah, and the thing is where they're aware, I spoke to Con, maybe we can bring in some food trucks, but I would really need Jeff's support on a Saturday, because I work from 7 to 10 on Saturdays. But it's just something I'm throwing out there. I think it'd be nice for the community if we bring other people in here, excuse me, and we might as well use the church classes, we have it. And I think especially the visibility of being on 130, you're gonna get quite a few people. And I'm not proposing initially charging anybody, the food truck wants to come in, you know. But that's something that I would like to do and, you know, make it easy and make sure that public works doesn't gather, that people have to be aware what goes with you. You're not even get behind for Mike to pick up on soaps.
Just to touch base on that, Mayor and Council, is I've been to plenty of these outdoor events.
Yeah.
These flea markets, Collingswood has one
That's what made me
regularly.
think about it.
There's always some sort of cleanup that needs to be done. So just take into consideration, we might have to have an employee maybe later on that day come up or something like. I'm not saying they need to be there the entire event, but maybe at the end of the event, they might have to come out and work for an hour or
And
so.
should it work out, we may say, well, that's every fourth Saturday, we're bringing food trucks. We don't know, you know, but it's something, we have it's like I talked about the Legion Field or the gym. We have a couple assets that people really would like. When they see this, I think it could be it.
I gotta tell you, Bruce, you know, you have Collingswood, they have their farmers market.
Yeah, that's what made me think about it.
You get 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You know, they have the speed line. A lot of people come off the speed line and
Yeah.
jump right in there. Brooklyn's on the map. I gotta tell you, I was at a meeting last night. I have talked to people that from Waterford and Hatco and places like that. Brooklyn's on the map. They're looking at us. So, we're a little town that unfortunately, we have 2 bridges being worked on into 2 circles that flood. You know, it's like we're on the map. We're on the news in the morning. Is the Brooklawn Circle flooded?
And
So let's do the best we can.
I just
and,
said, just put something
I
out
think that's
there.
a perfect.
And
great
hopefully, and like I asked Missy if she's around on the yard sales, you know, I'll get the little flyer made up. Would you be interested in this? So,
Sure. Yeah.
and I don't want to charge anybody, and I definitely don't want to charge people with the yard sale, but if we do bring food vendors in, you know, we want X amount of dollars a day to help with the guy with cleanup.
Help with
you
the
know.
cleanup, right?
So
I can even reach out to Collingswood Public Works just to see if they get any sort of monetary give back. It's always nice to have things in the community that cost nothing.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
if we have to eat it,
Yeah.
it still, it like, puts us on the map. But I could reach out to Collingswood and kind of see what they're doing. We're gonna need some trash cans in there.
Yeah, and you know, the piggyback on Colin with and what Jeff and these guys are doing down at the waterfront. I was down there last week driving through and I got stopped by somebody. here's this guy's a Brooklyn resident, moved out like 50 years ago, and he came amazed, what is going on. And I hear all the time from Gloucester, how come Brooklyn can do this and we can't do this, in Gloucester. So again, through the guidance of Skip, and when I say the guidance, he allows us to make these decisions, to do things, it said, I have to solicit Jeff's help with this, and I'm not throwing him on the table, but he's on the, what do you call it, the parking lot committee, so, but that's all I have.
No, better things are coming. All right, Missy, do you have anything from Ryan's end?
Nope.
I have a couple of things. I met with the Gloucester City Brooklawn Businessmen's Association last night. Again, there's a lot of talk about Brooklawn businesses. And we are so fortunate. I think the total is like 80-some businesses we have in Brooklawn. And I was talking with other people from that, it was a businessmen's meeting, and they found it unbelievable that Brooklawn has so many businesses. I said, we have like maybe 5, maybe 6 or 7 more coming in. We've got the, what is it, the race car,
The
gas station, which is like a national thing, and, recognized. We have all these,
Car wash.
we got Wawa, we got the car wash. Now that was maybe, that discussion turned into a traffic nightmare discussion on my end. So what are you gonna do about the traffic? You're gonna have a car wash. You come in every 7.5 minutes and wash 1,500 cars a year. What, that kind of thing. But it's great. It's great. People want to come to Brooklawn, We have the Puffin, is it Puffin? Coming to, not Puffin, I like
The one
cannabis in the
in the shop.
shop. Go Puff, shopping center.
Good, no.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's
It's not Go Puff. High Life, right?
What is that?
So
High
that's,
Life is another cannabis retail facility.
so that's Brooklyn has 3 cannabis. So we're getting a reputation, I think, a little bit for that. I don't know anything about that, but, well, that's all I got to say. There's a lot of buzz. I want to thank everybody tonight. I want to thank our public here. And that's pretty much it.
Just before you close, I forgot, June 8th, which is Saturday, is the kayak event.
I can't make it.
Your name's on it. Like,
I don't know.
The kayaking event, so we're
you're
gonna
gonna
have,
have Stacy, you're gonna have kayak,
yeah, so we got people from Denver, they're gonna kayak all the way into Brooklawn, I think it's like 7.5 miles or something he sent out, they're gonna land at Brooklawn, Mike's gonna greet them.
I'll put a cardboard cutout of me. Carry it around.
Mike, you're gonna be there.
So it should be, it's something positive for the community, it brings a lot of people in, they get to see our beautiful waterfront, so it's something positive, if anybody gets a chance to get
I know Deptford has I just recently passed it, it has a kayak, what's that right there at, Almanesson, yeah, on Almanesson, they used to be, what was the, business there? There's
All letters.
All letters. So now, that particular, that whole area is fed by a little thing behind that, where a friend of mine bought a home. And they have to bomb the beaver. They dam up that area right there, and the township comes in, and well, right at that bridge there where you come on, there's a kayak. They just put a kayak drop point or whatever you want to call it. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. So that's another option instead of a boat. We'll see. So that's all I have. That's it.
Motion.
All right, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Aye.
Thank you. There is no.